Okay, so in today's session, we will start with the modeling Mealy FSM, right? So already we have discussed the term is Mealy machine and Murray machine, right? What do you mean by the Murray machine, it means is an FSM whose output depend on only the present state, right?
Present.
And uh, Mealy machine, so we can define the Mealy machine, that is in the Mealy machine whose output depend on the present state as well present input, right? So here also we have written about of the modeling Mealy FSM, that is this machine can also be using a process statement with a case statement, right? We can also use two process statements, one to model the synchronous aspect of FSM and other to model the combinational part of FSM. If the Mealy machine, when we are implementing with the VHDL, so also like as a Murray machine, we can use in the case of the Mealy machine, use the statement is process statement, right? And also here we can also use for this example, okay? So we'll define the two process statements, okay? So now for this uh, statement, for this example, we'll discuss. Okay, so here first we'll understand that is the modeling Mealy FSM. So here first we have to discuss with the about of the uh, state diagram of the Mealy machine, right? Okay, so here in that diagram, these are the states. So finite state, it means that the finite FSM, finite state machine, it means it's nothing but a mathematical modeling, but it's having a yes finite states, finite input. Okay, okay. So with this example, also the number of state is the four. There is the state zero, state one, state two, state three. Okay, so this is the input signal and output signal. This is the format is input and output, right? Okay, so with this example, we'll understand how to implement this machine. Or again here, we'll write the VHDL code. So first, start with the we'll first start with the entity library and then write down the entity. Yes. Again here we have to consider the library IEEE, right? Library IEEE, okay, and second library that is the use IEEE plot standard underscore logic underscore 1164 dot all, right? So here we have to define the entity and the name of the entity is FSM2, right? So uh, the entity we have to declare the input output signal. A is the input signal, okay? So here the A is the input signal, and now this it will consider as a Y. So this is the Y as the output signal, okay? And the clock is the again clock is the input signal, okay? Because always FSM is implemented with the sequential machine, so its operation is depend on the clock. The clock should be mentioned or considered as the input. So here A and clock signal declared as the in and the data type is a bit, right? Like as the A clock, the Y is the output signal and its data type is the out, and its out is the mode, and the data type is bit underscore vector 1 down to 0. So now here the y is output signal, but here we have declared with the vector because that y signal is the 2-bit width, right? So with this example also you can observe this is the y is the output signal, that is the 2-bit signal, right? So that's why y is declared as a out bit underscore vector bracket 1 down to 0 and FSM2. Okay, so this is the entity library entity. Next is the architecture part, right? So in the architecture, the name of the architecture is FSM2 underscore arc. Okay, so this is the architecture. is the architecture name, right? And this is the associated entity. Entity is the FSM2, right? This is the FSM2 is the entity, and this is the architecture name. Again, here declare these states. These states declare as a melee type. Okay, what is the type? Melee type is, and all the states should be the entity. Okay, sorry for this. Okay, now the signal is declared as a p underscore state name. Okay, and second signal is the n underscore state. That is the present state, and n is the next state. Okay, and the type of that signal is the melee underscore type. Right. So here the first process. So we have to write down that melee machine with the VHDL code with the two process statement, right? The process statement for the clock. Okay, here the sensitivity list is the clock process on the clock. Okay, so open this P1 process statement with the begin, and here the only operation is depend on the clock. Clock is equal to 0, then P state assigned as the n state. Present state assigned as the n state when the clock on the 0. Right, so this is the first process statement. Right, and in the next, that is the second process statement, that is open with the keyword is the begin. Okay, and here first sequential statement is p state, case present state is. Okay, now here we have used the case statement, right? And when on the state 0. Okay, so initially we have considered that is the first state is the state 0, right? When on the state 0, if a is equal to 1, then y assign as 0 1, right? So y assign as 0 1 when the a is equal to 1, and n state, n means next state assigned as a state 1. Okay, so a is equal to 1. Okay, with the example we understand, right? So here with the input is the a, right? So output is the 0 1, and the present state assigned as the next state, that is the state 1, right? Here you can understand if a is equal to 1 on the state 0. Okay, on when on the state 0, on the state 0, if a is equal to 1, input is the 1, then y is the output signal assigned as the 0 1, and the n state, next state is assigned as the state 1. Next state is assigned as the state 1, else y assigned as 0 0, else y assigned as the 0 0. Okay. Else means a is considered as a 0, and the output is 0 0, and the state is the same, right? So this is the okay. So and if next when state 1, again if a is equal to 1, then it will go to the next state, that is the next state is the state 2. Else if a is equal to 0, so output is the 0 1, and state is the same, right? So this is the writing the simple state diagram with the VHDL code, that is the melee FSM. Okay, again for the same next state 2. Okay, for the state 2, what will happen with the state 2? Yes, when if a is equal to 1, right? If a is equal to 1, then it will go, yes, to the next state, that is the state 3, and the y, that the same time output y is the 1 0. Otherwise y assigned as a 1 1. Otherwise y assigned as a 1 1. When 1 is apply 1, when a is apply 1, so on the state 2, so next state will assign as a state 3, and output assign as a 1 0. On the state 3, if a is equal to 0, same state, right? And when the 1 is applied on the A, if the A is equal to 1, so it will, the next state will assign as a state 0 and the output is the 0, 0. So that is whenever you have to write a VHDL or the Verilog code, so first you have to write, design a state diagram. The state diagram is very important with the Moore machine or the Mealy machine, right? So in yesterday's lecture also we have discussed the difference between the Moore and Mealy machine, right? So once you know how to design a Moore and Mealy machine, so code is the, you can represent that Mealy or the Moore machine with the VHDL code is the simple. There is no issue. And if okay, so modeling Mealy FSM on the state 3. Okay, so this is at the end if, right? After the end if, first case statement is open, so obviously end the case, then end process, okay, then end process, and then end FSM2 architecture. Okay, so according the difference, this is the, now here again you can write down the code for this example. Suppose this is the state diagram. Now for the state diagram, write a VHDL code using the state machine modeling. Okay. So here again, this is the, yes, Mealy type of the machine. Okay. So for this machine again, uh, here you have to write down the code, but here the, that is the, this is the, this term is the input and this is the output. Right. Same. Initially is the A, B, C. There are the three states, right? For uh, for these three states, and on the inputs we are applying signals, so according the output will be assigned as this. Okay, so all of you have to try to write down the code for this state diagram according the previous state diagram. We have written the VHDL code, same you can write down the VHDL code for this state diagram also. So all of you draw this state diagram in your notebook. Yes, all of you have completed this state diagram. Okay. Okay. In the next lecture, we will design a Mealy sequence detector to detect a sequence 1010 using deep flip-flop and logic. Okay. So we will take in the next lecture. But now at your home, you have to write a VHDL code for this state diagram. Okay. So we will cover the one of the little concept of the unit 2, that is the metastability. Okay. So here, first define the metastability and how it can be removed. Okay. So first we'll understand the metastability. Metastability, it means that is the, in the case of the flip-flop or in the sequential circuit. So there is the occurring the metastability. First we'll understand the term is the metastability. That is when a flip-flop, that is the two times, setup for the whole times are violated, the flip-flop's output is unpredictable. Unpredictable, it means it may be the 1 or 0. That is unpredictable. That is the voltage level that does not correspond to either logic value 0 or 1. Okay. So this state is known as a metastable state. This state is known as a metastable state. That is the, so we can say the unpredictable. The output is unpredictable because the voltage level that not correspond to the either logic value 0 or logic value 1. So that's why the state is called as a metastable state. Also, we can say that is the metastable state or the quasi-stable state. Okay. So at the end of this metastable state, the flip-flop settle down to either 1 or 0. Okay. But the time required to cover from the metastable state is non-predictable. This whole process is known as the metastability. Okay. So this process is called as the metastability. Okay. So what do you mean by the metastable state? That is the unpredictable state, right? The voltage level that does not correspond to the either the value of the logic 0 or logic 1. Okay. So here, if the unpredictable output, but that unpredictable output we can remove or the minimize. Also, we can reducing. Okay. So how can it be removed? So we can use the using the synchronizers. Also we can using the fast flip-flops. Okay. Cascading flip-flops in synchronizers, reducing sampling rate, avoiding the synchronous input. Also we can reducing the clock skew. Okay. So these are the different techniques. By using that techniques we can remove the metastability percent. Okay. So this is the metastability. Okay. Next is the next is the test bench. Okay. So all of you know, so why the test bench is required? Yes. Anyone will define the term is the test bench? Yes. The test bench is used to verify the functionality of a design. Test bench is used to verify the functionality of a design. Right. So we know that in the VHDL or in the Verilog tool, so after the completing all the after completing the your code, so you have to verify the functionality of that logic. So that time the test benches tool is used to verify that functionality of that logic, right? So test bench is used to verify the functionality of a design. Okay. A test bench allows the design to verify the functionality at each step in the HDL. In the HDL synthesis based methodology, right? So what are the types of the test benches? Yes. So these are the types of the test benches. That is the stimulus only, full test bench, simulator, specific, simulator specific, hybrid test bench. Okay, fast test bench. Right. So when designers change the design to fix an error, the changes can be tested to make sure that it did not affect other parts of the design, right? So here we are getting the different types of the test benches. So one by one we will understand the types of the test benches. Okay. So first test bench has three main purpose. Okay. So what purpose is we have to use the test benches. So what purpose we have to uh, use the test benches? So reason is that to generate the stimulus. What is the purpose? Main purpose of the test bench? Use of the test bench. That is the first purpose is to generate stimulus for simulation. Stimulus, it means that is the excitation. Okay. The test bench is at the highest level in the hierarchy of the design. It illustrates the design under test. Okay. The test bench provides necessary input stimulus. That is the excitation to the DUT. What is the DUT? Yes. What is the DUT? Design under test. Okay. So that is the full form of the DUT. The test bench provides necessary input stimulus. Necessary input stimulus, that is the excitation to the DUT, and examine the output from the DUT. So that is the process to verify the functionality of the design, right? By using the test bench. Okay. So in the test benches, first is generate the stimulus for the simulation, right? That is the excitation. Second is that to apply the stimulus to the entity under test and collect the output response. That is the second step, right? In the third, to compare output response with the expected values. Okay. If your functionality, desired functionality is not matched with the design, so again you can make the changes in the VHDL code, and again you can verify the functionality of that design uh, to meet the uh, performance, or we can say the output response with the expected values. Okay, so that is the purpose of the test bench, and these are the steps to verify the functionality by using the test bench. Okay. So here we'll understand the first type, that is the stimulus only. Stimulus, it means it contains only the stimulus driver, and DOT does not contain any result verification. DOT is the design under test. Okay. Stimulus only, it means it contains only stimulus driver, and DOT does not contain any result verification. Full test bench. Full test bench contains stimulus driver, known good results, and result comparison. Okay, so that is the full stage bench. Okay. Next is the simulator specific. The test bench is written in a simulator specific format. Test bench is written in a simulator specific format. That is the simulator specific. Hybrid test bench, it is the combination of more than the test bench style. Okay. If the test bench style is mixed, more than the one combination, so it's called as a hybrid test bench. Fast test bench, as the name specifies, this test bench is written to get ultimate speed from the simulation. Okay, so these are the types of the test bench. Okay, next is the comparison of types of the test bench. Okay, so the three based on the three parameters, we can compare all these types of the test benches, right? So first is the speed, second is the flexibility, whether what types of the flexibility are getting with the particular types of the test benches, and the portability, right? So what is the portability? So in the stimulus and full test bench, okay, stimulus and full stage bench is getting the slow, okay, and uh, okay, sorry, here the stimulus and full test bench getting the slow speed, okay, and simulator and hybrid test bench getting the medium speed. Okay, so here the types comparison between these test benches. So first is the parameter is speed, right? In the speed, that is the stimulus and full stage bench, speed is the slow, okay, and the simulator and hybrid, here the medium speed, and the fast stage bench, obviously it specifies it by its name, that is the fast, so obviously it's the extremely fast. That is the first parameter. Second is that the flexibility. Okay, so stimulus as well full test and simulator getting the high flexibility, and the hybrid test bench, that is the medium flexibility, and with the fast test bench low flexibility, right? And portability, so only except the simulator specific, so with all the types of the test benches getting the portability, high portability. Okay, stimulus full test and hybrid test and fast test, with these the types of the test benches getting the high portability. Okay, so only the simulator specific is the low portability. Okay, so this is the comparison of types. Okay, so again we'll understand that is the test benches. Repeat the concept. It's a very important, because after the completing of your design, so first always you have to verify your result, whether the result is match with your desire, your output response is match with the expected or the desired response or not. If not, you have to again go into the code, VHDL and Verilog code, make the changes and verify through these test benches. Okay. So the test benches, it means that the test bench is used to verify the functionality of a design at every stage, at each step in the SDL synthesis. Okay. Verify the functionality. Okay. By using the test benches. Okay. So this is the test benches and the steps are very simple. uh, Again, I am repeat the steps. uh, First is that to generate the stimulus, that is the excitation for the DOT, right? DOT is the design under test. So which DOT we have to apply input in the form of the stimulus, we can say the excitations, right? So to generate the stimulus for simulation, first step, right? Second is the to apply the stimulus to the entity. So with the Xilinx software in the last year also we have verified with the synthesis tool, right? So we have generated the stimulus. We have set the 1 0 in the stimulus, right? We have set the waveform, right? It's called as a stimulus, right? Or we can say the excitation stimulus or the waveform, right? To first generate the stimulus, this is the waveform, set a waveform, right? To apply the stimulus to the entity under test and collect the output response. Okay. So apply this stimulus or the stimulus to the entity under the test and collect the output response and to compare the output response with the expected value. So after the simulating with this synthesis tool, we verify the that output response with the expected or desired result. Right. So if it match, then you can final your design. Otherwise, you have to make the changes. Okay. So this is the test bench. So here all the points we have covered of the unit 2, right? Only the practice is required. So practice point of view, because the in the FSM machine we have to design with the VHDL or the Verilog code. So all the basics or the fundamentals of the digital as well the hardware description language we have covered with the second unit, but we have practice is required, right? So that purpose is already I have given the assignment, and again I will show you. So please anyone take the snapshot and send me on my WhatsApp. Yes. Yes, anyone please take the snapshot and send on my WhatsApp. Huh? Okay, so all of you write down these next three questions. Okay, anyone please take the snapshot and send me on my WhatsApp. Okay, all of you write down next three questions. Okay, so here the practice is very important for the second unit because you have to implement that FSM, that is the Moore machine or the Mealy machine with the hardware description language. Write a short note on test benches, design and implement VHDL model for parity generator using Moore state machine. Write a short note on test benches. And third is design and implement VHDL model for register based dual port 18x RAM. Already I have given the notes. I uploaded the notes on the library repository site. So all of you access